Madam Chair, may I be allowed to please give my opening
You may
remarks?
proceed, Honorable Abante.
Madam Chair, distinguished colleagues, at mga kababayan po na nanonood ngayon sa ating live streaming, the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines begins with a simple but powerful principle. Ito'y inuulit-ulit po natin to. Public office is a public trust. Na gusto ko na yung dagdagan na hindi lang po ito public trust, kundi isang sacred trust. Sapagkat hindi natin maikakaila na ito po ibigay ng Panginoon sa atin. Hindi ito slogan. Hindi ito dekorasyon sa ating mga dokumento. Ito ang pundasyon ng ating demokrasya. In a democracy, leaders are accountable to the people. In a democracy, no official, no matter how powerful, is above the Constitution. And that is precisely why the Constitution gave Congress the power of impeachment. Because without accountability, democracy becomes something else. Without accountability, a republic begins to resemble a kingdom where those in power answer to no one. We are not a dictatorship, Madam Chair. We are a democracy where we believe that we must be governed by laws made by Congress. Impeachment exists so that the people, through their representatives, Madam Chair, may ask the most serious question that can be asked of a public official. Are you still worthy of the trust given to you by the Filipino people? That is the question before us today. Let me be very clear. This proceeding is not about personalities. It is not about political factions. And it is certainly not about the political ambitions of someone who will run 2 years from now. It is about her responsibilities to the nation because of the office she occupies today, Madam Chair. It is about whether the serious allegations contained in this complaint deserve the full and sober examination that the Constitution requires. The complaint endorsed before this committee presents several grounds for impeachment. Let me explain them in the simplest terms possible so that every Filipino listening can understand what is at stake. Dahil kailangan malaman ng ating mga kababayan na hindi biro ang mga akusasyon laban sa Vice Presidente. Unang-una, the issue of transparency and unexplained wealth. Our Constitution requires public officials to disclose their assets through their statements of asset, liabilities, and net worth, what we call as SALN. Now, why is this important? Because the Filipino people deserve to know that those who serve them are not secretly enriching themselves. If a public official earns a certain salary, but their wealth grows far beyond what the salary could reasonably explain, then the people have the right to ask questions. This complaint alleges that certain bank accounts, property transactions, and cash holdings were omitted or understated in the Vice President's SALN. It further raises the possibility that her accumulated wealth may be disproportionate to her legitimate income. Now, if these allegations are true, Madam Chair and my colleagues, that is not a mere clerical error. Hindi po ito biro. This is not a joke. That is what the Constitution calls culpable violation, a willful disregard of the duty of transparency. Pangalawa, the alleged misuse of public funds. The complaint cites findings from the Commission on Audit regarding the use of confidential funds under the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education. Let us put the numbers in perspective, Madam Chair. More than 612 million pesos in confidential funds were placed under the authority of the Vice President across these offices. And one particular transaction has raised serious questions. 125 million pesos allegedly encashed and liquidated within just 11 days in December of 2022. 11 days, Madam Chair. In ordinary life, if someone withdrew that much money and claimed it was all spent in just a few days without clear receipts, without verifiable pays, people would naturally ask, saan po napunta ang pera? Oho. According to the complaint, some liquidation documents contain defective receipts, unverifiable pays, and irregular documentation. These are not small accounting errors, Madam Chair. Hindi po ito biro. Again, this is not a joke. When public funds are involved, every peso belongs to the Filipino people, and when hundreds of millions are spent without clear accountability, the public has the right to demand answers. Madam Chair, that is not free money. That is not a money coming from our own personal pockets. That is the money of the Filipino people. Di ba? The public money, akin nabanggit kahapon, is also a public trust. Kaya nga ang pangatlo, betrayal of public trust. This is one of the broadest grounds for impeachment in our Constitution. It refers to conduct that may not always fit nearly into criminal statutes, but nonetheless shows gross faithlessness to the public trust. And one allegation in this complaint is deeply troubling, Madam Chair and my dear colleagues. The Vice President publicly admitted that she had spoken to someone about killing the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker should something happen to her. Later, it was said that this merely was a joke. But let us be honest. Threatening the life of the head of a state is not something that can be brushed aside as humor, particularly if this was even stated by the second holder of the authority of the land. Hindi po ito biro. This is not a joke. This is not what a wife can say to the husband, papatayin kita sa loob ng kwarto. Madam Chair, when the second highest official in the land speaks of assassination, even conditionally, as said by Congresswoman Digamo, it shakes the foundation of public trust because leadership carries weight. Words from high office carry consequences. Tanungin natin ng ating mga kababayan, if you had a neighbor who worked as an employee in a government office and your neighbor posted a video saying he was planning to kill you, hahayaan mo lang ba? Or would you not want to report that person to his superiors and have him held accountable for his actions? Once again, gusto kong sabihin, hindi po ito biro at hindi po ito dapat magiging katawa-tawa sa lahat. This is not a joke. Number 4, allegations of corruption and bribery. The complaint also presents evidence suggesting that public funds may have been distributed through intermediaries, including testimony from individuals who claim to have transported large sums of cash. These are also allegations of payments connected to procurement decisions. Now, whether these claims ultimately prove true is something that must be determined through evidence. But when sworn affidavits, audit findings, and documentary records raise serious questions about how public funds were handled, Congress cannot simply look away. Because the Constitution does not allow us to look away. Precisely why there is Congress in this country. It commands us to act. Now, some may ask, why impeachment? Why not leave this to the courts? The answer is simple, Madam Chair. Because impeachment is sui generis. It is unique. It stands alone. It is a unique constitutional process. Criminal courts determine guilt and punishment, but impeachment answers a different question. Is this official still fit to hold the trust of the Filipino people? That determination belongs to Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Congress. Others will say that a previous impeachment complaint was dismissed. That is true. But that decision was based on a procedural technicality involving the one-year bar rule, not on the merits of the allegations. This complaint presents new evidence, including issues involving SALNs and unexplained wealth that have never been adjudicated. The Constitution demands that these allegations be examined. And finally, Madam Chair, my dear colleagues, some will say that this process is political. To that, I say, impeachment is indeed political in the sense that it is entrusted to elected representatives. But it is not partisan. It is political in the same way that democracy itself is political, Madam Chair, because it involves the people's right to hold their leaders accountable. Our duty here is simple. It is not to convict, it is not to condemn, but to determine whether these allegations deserve the full process that the Constitution provides. If we refuse even to examine them, we send a dangerous message that powerful officials can evade scrutiny simply by attacking the process. But if we proceed with fairness, sobriety, and respect for due process, we affirm something far more important than any political victory. We affirm that in the Philippines, the Constitution still reigns supreme and that no one, not even the Vice President, is above the law. Why? Because public office is both a public trust and a sacred trust. Uulitin ko po, Madam Chair, hindi po ito biro. This is not a joke. This is a solemn responsibility. And perhaps these words would also issue a warning to some of our colleagues that will make stupid analogies, Mr. Chair. I would not hesitate even to question that. Ito po, seryoso po ito. Gawin nating seryoso ang impeachment complaint na ito. Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair and my dear colleagues.
Thank you, Honorable Abante. May we know if the Honorable Ortega wishes to deliver a manifestation as well? Yes, Madam Chair.
You may proceed.
I would join my co-endorser with a short manifestation. We endorse this complaint out of respect for our Constitution, and we carry this responsibility in the House of Representatives. This is not about declaring anyone guilty. It is our duty, and it is straightforward. For us to examine the facts and determine whether they are enough and there is enough basis to elevate it. If the evidence supports it, we elevate it. If it does not, we dismiss it. We owe the Filipino people a process that is fair, steady, and faithful to our mandate. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.